Good morning. Coming again from my car into the group. We're on day 6 of our body confidence chit chat. Remember, this is my challenge to myself to come in here and be more consistent in chatting with you. So I wanted to talk about, let's extend on what we were talking about yesterday. So we talked about body dysmorphia and how body dysmorphia is how we do not see ourselves clearly. And so let's talk about how if you have body dysmorphia, how much more likely you might have strange eating and your diet might be altered as well. Now, as somebody coming from a history of orthorexia, where it's like I was very, very rigid about eating certain foods, really scared, some foods are healthy, some foods are bad, making everything like overly stressed out about food. So food in itself was just very scary to me. So like eating something that was considered, not healthy was almost like, it gave it so much power is all I'm going to say. So what I want you to think about is how has your diet possibly been affected by possible issues with body dysmorphia, or just lacking confidence in your body, or because, people gave you crap about certain things you ate when you were little, and it all just warped into a crazy little mess. And so, therefore, now you might have a strange relationship, not just with your body, but a strained relationship and a strange relationship with food. And how when those two things are going together, it makes for quite a negative situation, not just for absorption of nutrients, but for so many different things that are going on in your life. And so I want you to think about if you have interesting eating habits, if food has been stressful, if diets have been stressful, if you've constantly underate because you always thought you were too big and you're undernourished, and things and bodily processes have gone now haywire because your body has been in a state of stress, so much stress, then, your weight is maybe bobbing around and you're just feeling a discomfort in your body, right? Which leads again to feeling a lack of body confidence because you feel like you can't trust your body. You don't know what to eat, you don't know what to wear, you don't want to look at the mirror, like all of these things. It's like a trifecta of different areas just on fire. When I used to just simply talk about health coaching and what's going on, and I was doing a lot of selling of detox programs and not really cleanses, but detoxing, and moving into a whole foods diet was really all it was. But there's these little things that are going on in your body, and when they're not going to plan, it's like these little fires are all happening at the same time, and your body's like, I can work on this, I can work on that, I can work on, I don't know, and so we just want to be fully aware of what we're dealing with. And it's not usually a lack of willpower, okay? It's not usually a lack of willpower. Your diet is a very important part of your life, but when you don't feel good about yourself, the choices that you make can bob around, right? We could be looking for certain foods that are going to give us, give us our certain hits, right? So certain levels of dopamine, certain other neurotransmitters that we're looking for, chocolate, when we're missing magnesium. So we can be all over the place, right? And so I just want you to be fully aware of that. These two things go together. It's not an accident, and that it's something to consider, that if you feel like you're lacking confidence, you might be undernourished, and you might be eating a little bit strangely in that you're not getting what you need because you feel like you need to undereat. But then your body will take over and then possibly need to overeat at times in order to create some sort of balance. Also, if we've been fully restricted for so long, because again, we want to keep our body a certain way, then that can lead to it as well. We can feel really overwhelmed when we have options. We can feel really overwhelmed when we when we don't have options, and we're like, even though if we want to go and do something that we think would be good for us, sometimes our reaction to it can be really intense. So all of this is like, all I'm trying to say is there's a lot going on behind the scenes in your subconscious. There's a lot going on like right there in your body that could make it feel like, of course you lack body confidence because you just don't feel good. But there are these other little avenues that need to be addressed and looked into so that we can bring more ease, more calm, more satiation, more, more good chemicals to the brain. So let me know if you've ever struggled with body dysmorphia, if you have ever struggled with food, what ways has that been and how has it been for you? And, what are your sensitivities around that? Are you sensitive when people talk about your food? Are you sensitive when you have to go to social interactions? What is it? Anyway, thinking about you. I hope that this actually worked today. Sending you guys so much love. Have a great day.